Hello and welcome to The Pulse. The Chief Executive, Carrie Lam, and a group of legal and security officials have just come back from meetings in Beijing to discuss the proposed national security legislation with Vice Premier Han Zheng and other officials. Lam said the central authorities intend to firmly, comprehensively and faithfully implement one country, two systems and resolutely safeguard national security. She said the central government will be listening to opinions from Hong Kong people. That same day, the United Kingdom's Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, pledged that if China proceeds with the national security law, Britain will change immigration rules for some 3 million British national overseas passport holders in Hong Kong, granting them a pathway to citizenship. Well, with us to talk about the proposed law is Elsie Leung, former Deputy Director of the Hong Kong Basic Law Committee of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China, and of course the first Justice Secretary of the Hong Kong SAR.
Yes, I was.
Let me ask you, because there is, as you know, enormous, I would say, worry and confusion about the resolution that was passed at the National People's Congress. And I know that I can't ask you what the details of the new law are because they're not known.
Yes.
But you have been involved in this process for a long time, so you must have some idea of where we're going. Do you think, for example, we're speaking on June the 5th, do you think that the June 4th commemoration of the Tiananmen events in 1989 would be permitted under this law?
Well, in Hong Kong, people have the freedom of demonstration, freedom of assembly. So if the activities or the behavior does not amount to secession, subversion, or terrorist activity, which I hope that they would not.
Well, one of the demands of that particular rally every year, as you know, it's been going on for over 30 years, has always been at the end of one-party rule in China. Would that be considered an act of subversion?
Yes, their slogan is on false premises. Even in China, it is not one-party rule. It is the multi-party cooperation under
really? Which other parties are involved in ruling China?
There are 9.
Which party matters? Really? I mean, really?
Yeah.
Really, the Communist Party isn't the overwhelming.
There is under the leadership of the Communist Party, but you have cooperation. But look at it; many other countries have the ruling party. Do they suggest that that should not happen?
Well, what happens is they change after elections.
Yes,
that doesn't happen in China.
Yes, but it doesn't change because it's supported by the people. You ask the people of China whether they want to remove the communist rule in China. They don't.
So it is clear that Chinese state security bodies would be setting up office, so to speak, if necessary, in Hong Kong. What is your understanding about setting up specific courts to deal with matters arising from this legislation?
Again, we have to see what the law when promulgated says. But I think under Article 19 of the Basic Law, our courts have jurisdiction over matters which previously, before the handover, they have jurisdiction to deal with. So unless it's a matter of defense, foreign affairs, or state. Act of state. Yeah. But otherwise, the courts will have jurisdiction over that. But then, of course, there are other principles. For example, immunity of foreign sovereign. I mean, these are common law principles. I don't see that the court will be differently operated after the passing of the law.
There was a suggestion that judges holding foreign nationality of whatever it is should not be allowed to preside over cases involving national security. Is it still your view that that would be inappropriate?
Yes. You see the number of foreign judges in Hong Kong, according to what the Chief Justice said before, is a minority. There are about 6% of judges, of our foreign judges in Hong Kong. Secondly, of course, we cannot demand foreigners to swear allegiance to the People's Republic of China. But if they become judges, then upon assuming office, they have to take an oath to uphold the basic law and also to swear allegiance to the People's Republic of China and the Hong Kong SAR. And that is as interpreted as Article 104 interpreted by the Standing Committee of
So you're
PPC.
saying as long as they make that oath,
Yes.
there is no reason why somebody who holds a foreign
Yes.
passport, let's not necessarily call them foreign judges, would
Yes.
be barred from presiding.
Yes, that's my view. But of course, the assignment of judges to cases that is within the power of the judiciary, and they have a very well set up system, and I trust that they would find the right person to deal with cases of all kinds.
Can I move to another thing? Again, this is arising from what you've just mentioned. This is the interference of foreign forces in Hong Kong's affairs.
Yeah.
Do you think that this will result in the prescribing of a number of organisations from being allowed to operate in Hong Kong, banning of people from entry into the SAR?
Well, not unless they are involved in activities or behavior like secession, subversion, or terrorist activities. And of course, treason and sedition, leakage of state secret, which we already have law to govern. Let's talk about our system. Do you have faith in our system? Do you agree that Hong Kong has robust rule of law and we have judicial independence? Then if you do not trust our system, then I've got nothing to say.
Well, I suppose the argument is that our system, the Hong Kong system, is changing.
It is not changing. In the decision, the concept of one country, two systems was emphasized. And also there's emphasized that it would not interfere with, it would not harm or injure people's rights and freedoms.
As matters stand, the president of LegCo has said that legislators cannot even discuss this law. Do you think that's right?
According to an answer given by LegCo some years ago, the Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs the Bureau, he did say that in important matters, the government will consult Legislative Council if the law is to be enacted. And I think when Carrie Lam came back from Beijing, she did say that there will be consultation on the drafting of the law.
But no discussion in LegCo itself?
It doesn't exclude it.
Well, the president of LegCo appears to have done that.
No, I don't think that is in the right context.
But let me
of course, it cannot discuss the law or debate over it as if it were a piece of legislation in Hong Kong. But certainly, people can express the Legislative Council can express the view when consulted.
Tam Yu Chung, who, as we know, is the, I suppose you could say, Hong Kong's senior representative within the National People's Congress as a member of the Standing Committee, has said that if legislators are opposed to this law, they should be disqualified. Oh, not legislators. If anybody is opposed to this law, they should be disqualified from standing for election. Is that a good idea?
Well, you have freedom of speech in Hong Kong. I mean, you can...
No, I'm asking your opinion, not Tam Yu Chung's opinion.
My opinion is that anybody standing for election of LegCo must comply with the requirement set out in the Basic Law, and also because as a candidate, he will have to accept that he will swear allegiance to the National People's Congress and the Hong Kong SAR, the People's Republic of China and the Hong Kong SAR, and also to uphold the Basic Law.
Well, I think in that oath-taking, the crucial part is the allegiance to Hong Kong, the Hong Kong SAR and the PRC. I don't think we've heard before that somebody to qualify for standing for election has to agree with all the components of the Basic Law. That seems to be something new.
To uphold it.
Well,
you have to uphold the Basic Law. So if you disagree with it, even if you disagree with it, you have to uphold it.
Can you understand why people are uneasy about the passing of this resolution in the MPC? And just to say, and that they're uneasy because they say this simply means that there will be a more mainland style of implementation of the law within Hong Kong.
No, I think the concerns are unfounded because if you trust Hong Kong's system, if you trust that any law cannot violate the basic law, violate the human rights provision of the basic law, then you have nothing to fear about. If you do not involve in the activities and behavior which would endanger national security, the law is aimed at stopping, preventing, or punishing a small number of people who are involved in these activities. We have a very robust legal system and this robust rule of law, and also we have faith in judicial independence in Hong Kong.
Well, that's very reassuring. Elsie Leung, thank you very much indeed. And we'll be back after the break. We'll see you then. Welcome back. It's 31 years since the June 4th crackdown in Tiananmen Square, but at least in Hong Kong, memories remain sharp. The annual vigil in Victoria Park to commemorate the deaths in 1989 is often seen as a barometer of Hong Kong's freedoms. The future of that vigil is now in question. This year, social distancing regulations were given as a reason for banning the event. But the pending national security legislation may well lead to a longer-term ban.
This year, for the first time in its 30-year history, the annual June 4th vigil in Victoria Park was banned. Citing potential threats to public health in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, the police issued a letter of objection against it going ahead. The vigil organizers, though, remained determined the events of June 4th, 1989 would be commemorated. Lee Cheuk-yen also invited the public to light up candles at their homes or neighborhoods to make the commemoration citywide. Lee believes the mainland's approval of the national security law for Hong Kong ushers in a new era, one in which people will be constantly fearful of breaching the legislation. As a result, they'll limit their own freedoms.
The biggest threat of the law is that we do not know how they define subversion, collusion with foreign power, or incitement. When they target a certain organization, they can also target others. And it's a moving goal on their part. Political need is overwhelming consideration. If they want to have a political action taken on any group in Hong Kong, any civil society, they will take it. So I think no one can be optimistic that they will not abuse the law. That I think would not happen. And if the law is in, then they have the power, they have the tool, and they always, a Communist Party, they want to use it to suppress.
Staff members at the park continuously patrolled the football pitches. Yet, this didn't stop the alliance from entering the fenced-off areas. The crowds grew, and at some point, people took up spaces across all 6 football pitches.
經歷咗反送中，即係香港人嚟講，可能會比較同理 relate 到6·4嗰啲人嗰種感覺，即係佢哋爭取緊嗰樣嘢咯。
我覺得香港政府心虛咯，我哋亦有人權㗎，香港法律賦予我有集會自由㗎，法會賦予我坐喺公園嘅自由㗎。我問香港政府點解上晒啲鎖？我哋咁多年啦， 4.4集會我哋未有破壞過㗎，我哋好乖㗎。點解咁多差人喺度啊？
維園嘅球場連結埋全香港、九龍新界，其實人心所向，仍然大家都睇到嘅。所以我哋覺得今年就算你警方出話一個禁制嘅集會，最後人心不死嘅話，燭光係一樣不滅。
我哋站立默哀
809默哀。
Among those attended the annual vigil this year was Kenneth Lam. As the chairman of the Hong Kong Federation of Students in 1989, he witnessed the Tiananmen Square crackdown firsthand. He considers it a personal duty to mourn the dead.
如果繼續講出真相，繼續要求中國嘅民主化係一個罪行嚟嘅，咁我唯有面對呢個咁樣嘅結果啦。咁所以無論香港政府又好，香港警察係點樣做，我依然會用自己嘅方式去悼念6·4，同埋將真相繼續係傳承俾下一代知道。
平反89民運，平反89民運，追究屠城責任，追究屠城責任。
學生時代，我其實同而家都仍然好相似，就係我哋相信個世界應該可以好啲啦。透過我哋嘅參與，希望可以改變到社會嘅一啲問題啊。咁所以當時見到中國一個咁大嘅民主運動咧，就去咗北京係去支援北京學生啦。6月3號晚，我整個晚上都係留喺廣場嘅，而當時我就喺廣場紀念碑嘅最頂層，同北京同學一齊。北京嘅民眾同埋學生咧，用佢嘅生命保護我，係要我安全咁樣離開，翻到香港咧係講翻將真相係講翻出嚟。咁呢一個嘅囑咐，其實喺呢31年嚟一路都係提醒緊我，所以每一年無論任何時候，當我需要去為89民運同埋6·4屠城去做一個見證嘅時候，我都一定會將我當時見到嘅真相係講翻出嚟。
Having survived the crackdown, Kenneth has become a local human rights lawyer fighting for minority rights. He considers his work an extension of the spirit that drove the Tiananmen protest movement. As an outspoken member of his profession, Kenneth ran and won the Law Society Council election last week. Together with his fellow elected representatives, he intends to take a firm stance on the importance of rule of law.
赞成2878票，反对1票，弃权6票。宣讀完畢，通過。
我哋見到近年香港面對咗比較大嘅一個衝擊，就係我哋嗰個法治制度啦。我呢一代人其實親身經歷中英聯合聲明嘅談判，親身經歷基本法嘅草擬，亦都親身經歷當年中國對香港嘅承諾。所謂除咗國防外交之外，香港可以高度自治。呢一個承諾咧，好明顯就係不再實踐啦。所以去到呢一步，其實我哋走到中年，覺得係好難過。見到咁樣嘅發展係，亦都好無奈。喺89年或者過去嘅反修例裏邊，我哋見到好多好身邊好平凡嘅人咧，佢哋為咗一個更大嘅目標，無論係舊年為咗保護香港嘅制度，還是當年89年希望去爭取民主同自由，而佢哋係去犧牲咗自己。雖然個結果我哋見到89年之後，中國係更加嘅政治係更加監控、更加強。反修例之後，我哋見到而家香港亦都唔見到有更加咩出路。但係我哋會記得喺呢啲日子裏邊咧，呢一啲人嘅付出，而我時刻都會記起呢一啲咁樣嘅每一個人，我接觸嘅人， 其實佢哋都係都俾我哋提醒我哋，其實人性光輝嘅一面其實好美麗，亦都係呢一面咧，令到我哋見到無論係89年或者反修例運動，咁多人係被感動同埋牽動，而去關注、去支持整個運動。我相信嚟緊唔會係容易嘅，無論係政權嘅打壓或者係監控，但係我相信我哋係會揾到香港人嘅方式去繼續去悼念、去堅持真相同埋去抗爭。